You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days of Our Lives fans. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got your 2-week spoilers. These run from Monday, February 12th, all the way through Friday, February 23rd, which is the last full entire week of February sweeps. So things are hitting a fever pitch. We have exciting stuff here. If you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. Now let's dive right in. Monday, February 12th, the Horton house is ablaze. It burns down to the ground. It is in really bad shape. And speaking of really bad shape, Harris Michaels is bleeding out on the dock. The EMTs rush to save him, but he's flatlining. They get him over to University Hospital, and Trip Johnson is on hand, and he is rushing to save a life. Paulina Price is very upset because she thinks her throat cancer, thyroid cancer surgery is going to ruin Chanel and Johnny's wedding plans, and she is very upset about that. Meanwhile, Rafe has some serious questions for Ava and Stefan about Harris's shooting. He was shot out back of their place of business, and if they check Harris's phone, they're going to see a text that says it's from Ava asking him to meet her. And of course, it doesn't look like that was a real text. Unless somebody, stole Ava's phone. We'll find out. Tuesday, February 13th, we've got Wendy ratting her boyfriend's mom out to the cops. Wendy tells Rafe and Jada Hunter that Ava has been really acting sketchy and suspicious lately. Xander Cook is back from his jog on Tuesday. That was a pretty long jog. He comes in all sweaty. He gets in the shower, and Sarah Horton strips off and follows him into the shower where things get steamy, and not just because the water is hot. Maggie Kiriakis opens up the doors of the mansion and takes in Doug and Julie Williams, and also Chad DiMera and Thomas and Charlotte DiMera, because they are all homeless because the house they were living in burned. Horton house is burned down, you guys. It is gone. It is ash and rubble, but Julie Williams vows she will build it back like it was. So I don't know if Days decided to burn it down for sport, or maybe the set was falling apart and they needed to rebuild it and they decided to burn it for high drama in February sweeps. We also have Ava and Stefan realizing that Clyde Weston is very serious about his threats. Well, yeah, because in the same night he shot Harris, he sent somebody to shoot Harris, and somebody came to shoot at Lucas. I don't know if they succeeded or not, and then set fire to the local newspaper editor's home. So yeah, Clyde is definitely on fire. Wednesday, February 14th, it is Valentine's Day, and John takes Marlena out on a picnic in the park, and they wind up dancing. He's trying to forget about all this pawn garbage. Steve wakes Kayla up in bed with a sweet yellow rose, and they talk about all their years of romantic history. Teresa Donovan is waiting on that Valentine's Day marriage proposal because she found the ring in Alex's pocket at the end of next week, and she's thinking, oh, he's going to ask, and then he doesn't. Meanwhile, Johnny and Chanel surprise Paulina. Looks like they might have their wedding at the hospital so she can still have the surgery she needs and they can still say their I do's. Looks like they show up with her in a proper big white wedding gown and him in a suit, and it's very, very romantic. Thursday, February 15th, Chad tells Everett all the things that happened the night that the house burned down. I'm sure they are quickly going to figure out this is the work of Clyde Weston. Jada takes a turn interrogating Stefan and Ava about the shooting of her partner, Harris Michaels. Stephanie wants Jada and Rafe to meet her boyfriend, Everett Lynch. Wow, how is he going to get out of that? That looks very interesting. Brady gets a visit with his daughter Rachel Black, but then he and Kristen wind up fighting at the visit. Fighting isn't good. That's not part of Kristen and Alex's plan to make sure that Brady doesn't get near Teresa. And Xander worries that things between him and Sarah might be broken and over. I wonder, because he went out for a jog at the time the two shootings happened and that one arson event happened, that she might suspect him, even though he has been on the straight and narrow, and I really don't think he was involved in any of them. He was in jogging pants. He did have a hoodie, but I looked very closely at all the clothing clothing from the 3 perpetrators, and none of them matched his. Friday, February 16th, we have Stephanie and Everett playing catch up, and it says after their double date. So it's hard to imagine that she would still be talking to him if they did go on a double date with Rafe and Jada, and Jada's like, what the hell, that's my ex, unless he really does have a twin. So I wonder if they ended up on a double date with somebody else, like her brother Trip and his girlfriend Wendy. So very interesting spoiler. And Wendy and Trip are busy doing the Valentine's geocaching event on Friday the 16th, and it looks like things go badly and something weird turns up during the treasure hunt. Leo is busy interfering in Eric and Sloane's alone time, and she is ready to pull her hair out by the roots. And Teresa is impatient because Alex hasn't proposed and basically tells him he needs to propose, and then says, yes, yes, my answer's yes. I don't know if she yells yes to something else when he's asking if she wants dessert, and she gets excited and thinks it's a marriage proposal. And Nicole Walker is back on Friday the 16th and completely shocked at all the things that EJ has done for her daughter Holly to make sure that she comes out of this and that the people that hurt her are punished. All right, the week of February 19th through the 23rd, there is some fallout from really bad things that happened during the Valentine's Day geocaching event. I'm going to guess one of 3 things. They find a dead drug dealer, they find a stash of drugs, or they find somebody who is overdosed. I think it's going to be one of those 3 things while the people of Salem are in the park, shaking out the bushes, poking around places they usually wouldn't poke, and maybe somebody finds something dodgy. And there is damage control on the mind of many people in Salem, which is kind of interesting. I mean, Sloane is planning to do some damage control because she's coming up with a plot to give the baby back to Nicole. This will be in motion now that Nicole is back in town, and we've already had confirmation that Sloane does indeed find a way to give back the baby. And we also have, Xander probably trying to do damage control because he doesn't like being accused of these things he didn't do, but he was out and without an alibi, and he's been known to do bad things, but he didn't really have a reason to do any of these bad things. Other spoilers say a big lie might come out soon, and Everett looks like he might need a medical consultation with Kayla and maybe a psychological consultation with Marlena, depending on what comes out about what is going on with his double life and with these migraines and other symptoms he's been having. And Chad and the kids, plus Doug and Julie being at the Kiriakis mansion, soon starts causing problems for Konstantin Jonas, who needs Maggie all on his own so he can marry her and do the gold digger thing. Teresa Donovan is headed to the altar soon, but things are going to get hairy for her. And of course, Xander is accused of crimes that Clyde's hooligans committed. Those are all of the 2-week spoilers I have for you. If you haven't already, please reach down, click subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates. Please drop your comments on what you are excited to see, and come back every day because we are here talking days all week long, 7 days a week. It is always Belinda from Soap Dirt.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.